Hello and welcome to Green Shoots, a show where we get up close and personal with founders of startups. We try to understand their journey, their heartbreaks, their achievements, and their growth plans ahead. On the show today, we have Manoj Agarwal, co-founder of Zozo Day, who's joining us to talk to us about his company. Thank you so much for joining us, Manoj.
Thanks, Anisha. Thanks for having me into this call.
Right now, Zozo Day's tagline is "Make everyday rewarding." Now, I gather that Zozo Day brings in simplicity and continuity to complex everyday problems like finding motivation and incentives. So, could you join the dots for us with the tagline "Make everyday rewarding"? What were the problems that you were trying to solve with the solutions and the products that you offered on Zozo Day?
The tagline Zozo Day, make every day rewarding, brings a close connection of what the name of the company is and what we are doing for our consumers. Zozo is hugs and kisses in terms of the colloquial senses. And it's basically that how do we bring love, affection, and smiles to all our clients? So the way you have a Sunday or a Monday or a Tuesday, why not also have a Zozo Day to make your life, your day much more lovelier and affectionate than it is actually. Every day is important in your life, and how can you make it very fruitful and very delightful as you move across your day, and that is what we do as a business for all our clients and for all our end users. So businesses always achieve results through various strategic and tactical initiatives, but a very important ingredient in all the initiatives is your people. And then when you talk about people, it can be your employees, it can be your sales teams, it can be your channel partner, or it would be finally your consumers. Now, a time-tested method to motivate your people to perform and to deliver results is to provide them the right fruits or the right rewards when they are achieving those results. And when companies are doing that kind of a program at scale, that is when they need technology solutions like ours. So a well-designed incentives, rewards, and payouts plan can actually improve performance and efficiencies for companies in different directions, whether it is for their employees or for their sales teams, for their channel partners, for their customer loyalty, and put it together. And then you will see that as a business, you are able to deliver better in terms of revenues, you are able to have better engagement with your stakeholders, and so on. The entire space of rewards, incentives, payouts, it's like centuries old. I mean, right from the time humans were born, we are all driven by desires, and one of the critical desires which drives humanity is getting something in return for something you do. Right from our childhood, we always look out for that sweet or chocolate when we are able to do something. That carries as we are moving across our life cycle, whether we are students or consumers or working with organizations. But problem which we are trying to solve is that intervention of technology has been very, very minimal in this entire space. Despite being a multi-trillion dollar industry, there is lack of good products solving these problems. The point of action for an employee or a sales team and the point of gratification are very disconnected by time and space. The process of designing and executing rewards and incentive programs is very complex, inefficient, very expensive, time consuming, lot of errors in the entire process, leading to very poor ROIs for the companies. So the entire sector is very ripe for technology disruption, and that is what we are trying to leverage by doing some digital transformation in this entire process.
Yeah, Manoj, can you give me an example? What is so unique with Zozo Day's offering?
See, number one is we are not only employee centric, we cover different personas which are important for any company. So as I mentioned, that It's all about people, and people are equal to number one, employees, number two, your sales and channel partners, and third is your consumers, because these three entities together really build the success of any company. So we are not only solving it for employees, but also solve it for sales, channel partners, and consumers. Going with some examples of employee side, right from the time you are hired till the time you retire, there are different interventions you go through in your employee life cycle. How can you really create that culture of gratitude and appreciation with every single employee? It is not only that your employer has to kind of say thank you, but it can be a peer-to-peer kind of a gratitude as well. So for example, if I have done some great work in a presentation in a meeting and I really helped one of my colleagues, then my colleague can actually say a thank you to me, which can be with some kind of a monetary thank you, or it can be a simple thank you. Similarly, if it's my birthday today, the employer as well as my colleagues can really wish me, because that can make my day. If I have been performing better, then I can be rewarded or I can be recognized, because an appreciation really makes my day. So how can these things happen seamlessly in the flow of your work is what is more important, because in the current environment you are looking for frictionless kind of solutions, where the solution itself kind of picks up the different milestones of your journey and then makes it within the flow of your work, whether you are working from a Slack or a Microsoft Teams or a Gmail or directly using an application. How can the system understand your milestones and do it right from there? That is what we solve for our customers. And then going beyond the employees, if we talk about the sales guys, sales is driven through incentives and commissions. And if the sales teams don't get their commissions or incentives for their hard efforts on time, it kind of demotivates them to in a very big way, and that entire demotivation kind of snowballs in such a way that the person who was one of your rock stars is actually now looking at maybe leaving the company. And getting a great guy in the company is very tough, but if you are losing that guy, then the cost of attrition is very high in different aspects. And that is what the solution kind of helps companies, that how do you retain your rock stars by recognizing their efforts at the right time rather than kind of just delaying that entire process. Because in the generation we are today, I mean, people are looking for instant answers, instant gratification, things which are very much within the flow of work. That is what the generation looks for, and that is what we are trying to solve for our customers.
So could you tell us a little more about the three business units that you have? One is employers, one is for channel partners, one is for customers.
These are not three businesses, but three products. So the three products which we call are Impulse, Plum, and Compass. Each one of have a deep meaning to the names. Impulse is for employee engagement and employee rewards. Basically, employee pulse is what we measure. Plum is a nice fruit. And just like you have a fruit after a tiring day, you get a plum after putting efforts in your work. Compass is for our sales and channel incentives. Basically helps you navigate the way a compass helps you navigate your path while you are doing sales, because sales comes with a lot of external and internal variables. So this is what each of these products are. Now, in terms of the USPs, there are free solutions in the market, and we also provide a free version on each of our products. So if a company wants to have the bare nuts and bolts of the product, they can always be in our free plans. But if you're looking for advanced features and more capabilities in the product, then we recommend that you upgrade your plans to our higher plans, which are tier 2 and tier 3 plans. And there are customers who are using our free plans, and there are customers who are using our advanced plans. In terms of USPs, there are multiple USPs. Number one is our product is very global, which means that it can cater to multiple geographical requirements. And most of the companies nowadays work at a global scale, whether their employees are spread, their sales teams are spread, their consumers are spread. Now, companies don't want to work with multiple point solutions to cover the length and breadth of geographies. They want to ideally work with a single solution, which is what we do. So we are a multi-currency, multilingual with a very large reward catalog, which kind of solves that problem for global solutions. The second is the companies are looking for solutions which are deeply integrated into their day-to-day applications. Our applications are very deeply integrated with hundreds of other applications like Salesforce or HubSpot or SAP, Microsoft Teams, G Suite, Slack, and many more. The way it benefits these companies is that without changing their application or without going to a different system, you can directly use our solutions from your existing applications, and which is a very great respite because people are also tired with too many applications around. And if they are able to get some application which is very seamlessly integrated into their existing applications, the adoptions are very high, which is one of our metrics which we measure the monthly active users and the daily active users in our products. The third thing is that there are a lot of things which have not been really solved by the existing products. They are either solving very pointed problem, and then the clients have to run for different solutions for solving the other problems which are part of the entire stack of rewards and incentives. So we are able to solve the entire stack with a single solution, which makes it very easy for companies to kind of work with us.
All right. So, Manoj, what I'm understanding is on one side of the business, you have to acquire clients. On the other hand, you have to tie up with fulfillment partners who will fulfill these things. And you said this is done on a global basis. So, how do you manage both these?
Yeah, you rightly mentioned that there are two sides of this problem. One is the supply side or the catalog of rewards, and the second is the demand side, where there are different use cases of demand which we try to solve. So our focus is on the demand side, because on the supply side there are already players in different parts of the world who are solving this problem. What we do on the supply side is just aggregate that supply into a single place through APIs. We work with large aggregators to kind of combine the supply. So for example, in India, we work with a couple of large suppliers which aggregate multiple merchants, and same is the case in multiple other countries. So we are working in close to like say 75 plus countries today. Now, the bigger problem which we are solving is on the demand side, because there are huge gaps when it comes to solutions around rewards and incentives. I'll give you some 3-4 examples to just drive the point home that what we are talking about when it comes to demand, because the number of use cases are more than 100. And that is the beauty that the horizontal infrastructure makes it so very easy to kind of plug and play different use cases. For example, all the survey related companies, the market research companies, they keep on doing surveys, and that is their bread and butter. To get a survey output, you need the right panelist, and a panelist will not reply or respond or take interest in your survey unless you are rewarding them something, or if you are paying them something. That entire process is very fragmented today. So the surveys are happening on a Survey Monkey or a Qualtrics or some internal solutions, whereas the payments are happening through some kind of a banking payment where the customer has to first take their bank account details and so on. Now imagine a solution which we give to our clients, that you are able to reward from Survey Monkey itself, where you can nicely make the rule engines that, okay, if the respondent is answering 8 out of 10 questions at this kind of a quality, then you give him XYZ reward. And if the response is of this level, then you give ABC reward, and so on. So as soon as you complete the survey, within few seconds, you get the reward, which kind of reinforces a positive behavior for that guy that, hey, I'll be more than interested for the next survey and I will look forward for that survey, rather than just complaining about not getting his incentives or his payout for the previous survey.
Right. So the seamlessness has made it very, very efficient. And that's, I'm sure, a good USP. Now, what was the impact of the COVID pandemic on your business?
COVID was very harsh for human beings overall, but it actually taught a lot of new ways of thinking about businesses in multiple directions. How do you look at your people practices? How do you look at doing your sales? How do you look at your processes? And how do you really look at a lot of other things in terms of your marketing as well, or reaching out to your consumers? So COVID has been a very welcome thing for us. I mean, for the first 3-4 months, it was something very new for every one of us, and we were also figuring out ways that, okay, what next? But after the initial 3-4 months settled down, it brought a lot of innovations. It actually pushed every company and every founder to look at innovations in every stage of their company, whether it is hiring or sales or marketing and so on. And same happened for us. So before pandemic, we were doing marketing, which was a mix of offline and online. Similarly, our sales was very offline and online. But COVID was a welcome thing, that it brought a lot of digital transformation within our own company. And it also kind of helped a lot of clients to think of digital transformation and digital adoption in a very big way. So earlier it was like a nice to have thing for them, but now it became a necessity. And we, being a company who helps companies into their digital transformation for different processes, became a very good platform of choice for a lot of companies. And in certain ways, we are helping companies to motivate their stakeholders. And motivation was abysmal low during this entire pandemic. Even engagement with your consumers, your sales, your employees was a big problem during this entire pandemic, and it will stay as long as we are doing remote work, hybrid work. Being into the space of motivation and engagement, it gave a very natural fillip to our business. It was a great catalyst for our business, and we started getting very heightened demand for our product. And before pandemic, we were acquiring like say 15 clients in a month. uh, today we acquire almost like 70 to 80 clients every single month.
So that's great, blessing in disguise for you. Manoj, last question I want to ask you is, what would you like to tell budding entrepreneurs?
So I think the first and foremost advice for entrepreneurs would be that, I mean, differentiate signal and noise, because there might be too much of content and too much of gyan out there, but finally it boils down to execution. Because it's only when the rubber hits the road, then when you really start understanding the nuances of entrepreneurship, and then you start making progress. Just advices alone won't really help you. So just move on, start getting into execution rather than just taking advices. That would be my first advice. The second thing is, be very authentic. The reason I'm saying this is that it's very easy to start businesses today versus it was maybe 2 decades or 3 decades earlier. And the number of businesses which are coming up every single day are humongous. So the only some of the competitive advantages which you have is that how can you be extremely authentic in what you do, because people relate with authenticity. And the third advice I would say, I mean, there are so many advices you can keep going on, but I'm telling these advices which really work for me as an entrepreneur and work for our teams. So the final advice would be, people and culture are your biggest competitive advantage in today's world. Companies and competitors can copy your product, they can copy your price, they can copy your marketing, they can copy everything. The one thing which they can't copy is your team, is your culture, your passion and your practice. So focus upon that, because many times we kind of trivialize these things, but I guess these are the things which matter, and these are the things which differentiate between success and failures.
All right. Thank you so much, Manoj, for joining us today and sharing with us the journey of Zozo Day, what it offers to clients, a seamless experience in a way that everybody feels motivated to do more. And of course, your success mantras for budding entrepreneurs. Thank you so much for joining us, Manoj.